Hi, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Last week, I had you guys work on quadratic formulas and I had you look at your vertex of your h and your k. Just to make sure everybody is on the same page, I wanted to go over a couple things. So we are talking about parabolas or quadratics. They are U-shaped. This was the one we did in class. It is on page 3 of your math notebook if you want to look at it. We graphed the parent graph so you can see what it's supposed to look like. And then we started talking about how if we change parts of our quadratic, it will either make it skinny or narrower, or it will make it wider. We called it fatter. And it would shift it either up, down, left, or right. And we could also reflect it. So just to go over a couple of those words again, vertex, it's either the lowest part of your parabola or it can be the highest part of your parabola. Your axis of symmetry is the line that divides your parabola in half. So if you were to fold it in half, they would meet exactly. We said that, let's zoom in. Your h will move your parabola either left or right. Your k will either move it up or down. Your a will either flip it up or flip it down. If it's positive, it will open up. If it's negative, it will open down. And then it could either make it fat or skinny. So if the absolute value, so whatever that positive number is, if it is bigger than 1, it will make it skinnier. If it is less than 1, it will make it fatter or wider. Again, these ones we did in class, but that's what you should have been reviewing last week. So vertex form is called vertex form because it's easy to find the vertex. Your vertex is just your h and your k. So your vertex is your h and your k. And then if we wanted to draw the line down the middle, it's just going to be whatever your x value is, or your h. So we would say that is the line of x equals h. And then our y-intercept, we would have to figure that one out. But if we're doing standard form, it's not always that easy. You still can do it, but it takes a little bit more work. So here are a couple things. Your axis of symmetry is x equals negative b divided by 2a. So that's calling back to ax squared plus bx plus c. So if I wanted to find my axis of symmetry, I would take my second number, make that negative, or do the opposite, divide that by 2 times whatever your a is. If I wanted to find the vertex, I would take this number, make that my x, and then I would have to substitute that into this equation to find my y. So I would take whatever number this is and I would substitute it in every time you see an x. And then eventually you're just going to have all numbers, and then whatever your answer is, that is your y. And then the nice thing about this one, you don't have to do as much work for your y-intercept. It's just 0 comma c. So whatever your last value is, your constant, that is your y-intercept. So let's take a look at what that might look like. So what is your a? What is your b? What is your c? Okay. So if we want to look at if it opens up or down, we would look at our a. So the A here is 2. If it is positive, it will open up. If it is negative, it will open down. So this one is positive, so it opens up. And then for the axis of symmetry, we do negative B divided by 2A. So negative B, it's negative 8 divided by 2 times A. Negative 1 times negative 8 is positive 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So what that means is there's going to be a line that runs through 2. So we would say our axis of symmetry is 2. So I can go ahead and put that on my graph through 2. So now I know that's halfway between my graph. It's either going to, or no, we said it's going to open up. So it's going to open up. We just don't know where yet. So now we have to find out our vertex. But luckily, we know this is part of our vertex. So we take 2 and substitute it into our original equation. Y equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 6. What did we say our x was? Good, 2. So we would put in 2 and 2 and simplify. And that gives us negative 2. And this is our y. So we already know our x. That will give us our y for our vertex. So that would be 2 comma negative 2. So we're almost done. We have our axis of symmetry. We now have our vertex. So that's 2 and negative 2. We know it's going to open up. And then it's asking, is this vertex a minimum or a maximum? We had talked about if it looks like a ditch, that's a minimum. If it looks like a hill, then that's a maximum. Minimum, maximum. And this one is going to look like a ditch. So that is a minimum. And then our y-intercept, let's use this color. Y-intercept is our constant. So if we look at our original, we have 6 as our constant. So that is our y-intercept. So if we look over here, we put a dot at 6. And the nice thing is it does reflect across the axis of symmetry. So if we have a point over here, then we know we are also going to have a point on the opposite side. That is equal distance from the axis of symmetry, and that's enough points to draw our parabola. If you guys want to practice some problems, there's one example here of vertex form. Oh, that you can graph this one. If you notice, there is no B, so that just means B is 0. And then if you want to practice these ones, these are some good tutorial questions or discussion questions that I can answer and help you guys with during office hours. All right, thank you.